Good morning. Welcome to the very first official episode of Wake Up with Carlyn. I'm glad you're here. I hope you had a good sleep. Do you remember any of your dreams? They say that there's some tricks to remember your dreams. I'll just give you one quick, easy one or two. Before you go to bed at night, say, I'm going to remember my dreams tonight. I'm going to remember my dreams tonight. And then when you wake up, whether you remember your dreams or not, which eventually you will start remembering them, have a dream journal and just wake up and immediately start writing in your journal. And if you do remember your dreams, something that I do is either I write it down or usually I'm still half asleep and I'm kind of like, I don't want to forget this. So I grab my phone, turn it on video because it's way easier to find the video than the voice memo button. And I just like in my dark room have it. And I'm like, okay, this happened, this happened, this happened. I don't know what this means, but I felt this and I recognize this person. And genuinely, when I started doing this, I started remembering my dreams more and more and more. And I love dream interpretation. Some of them are absolute, nonsense, or it mirrors what you watched in a TV show the night before or something that's happening in your life. But other times, there are dreams that feel like more than dreams. So I encourage you to do that. And if you have any cool dreams and you want to talk about it, write them in the comments because I love this. I love them. All right, so let's start our week off right. I feel like Mondays get a bad rap. It's like, oh, you got to start the work week again. You got all this stuff. It's 5 days until the weekend. I have to deal with my asshole boss, whatever. We can do this week differently. Every week we're going to start it together and we're going to shift it. We're going to make sure that we go into it feeling good, feeling relaxed, feeling alive in the mystery of life. And we're not going to let the small stuff or even the big stuff weigh us down quite as much. There's this interesting theory that we don't actually move through physical reality. Like our consciousness, our being is this energy, and it's life that passes through us. So it's kind of like we are the projector screen, and everything that we perceive is moving through our physical body. So when you're feeling an emotion, it's almost like there's that wave of energy was moving through your little pocket of consciousness, if we want to consider it that. And it's as it moves through you that you feel that emotion, whether it's happiness, sad, humor, whatever. And so if we can think about life in that way, when we get angry or when there's frustration or something, if we can think about, all right, I'm steady, I am here, I'm whole in myself, I am simply experiencing this. And I'm going to let this vibration, this emotion, whatever, just move through me. Maybe you see something on the news and maybe it ticks you off. Okay, just sit there, be like, I'm a projector screen, or I'm a projector machine. I'm going to let this just simply move through me. Let it move through you. Kind of, I like to think of it that way because when people are like, feel your emotions, sometimes I'm like, I don't want to feel that emotion. But if I just imagine it, okay, this is a wave of energy that is literally moving through me. Sometimes that helps. And let's also reframe how we're going to see things this week. Let's view this life not as a battlefield, not that like we're going to war at work or trying to survive, fighting traffic. No, let's view life as a playground this week. Mistakes? No, they're just experimental findings. No such thing as a mistake. And success according to an outcome? No. Success is measured by a sense of aliveness. Let's take the pressure off. When we make these big goals and we don't meet them, then we feel like a failure. But we're not. Everyone here is doing humanness for the first time that we can remember. I mean, some people think that they can remember past lives, but it's the first time that we're doing humanness in this body. We're still figuring out how this works, how this energetic system is set up, how these chemicals are arranged, how we move through everything. Let's take the pressure off. Your life will change when you start to give yourself grace. When you start to measure your life by sense of aliveness rather than achieving goals. That's what I'm going for now. Because when I had these goals, when I had these big things that I wanted to become a reality, or like I want to have this by X date, whatever, oh my gosh, and it doesn't happen, and then you feel like a failure, and you feel like, oh, I'm doing something wrong, or I'm behind, I'm this age and this hasn't happened for me yet. Why do we do that? Why do we allow society to put these standards and these, I don't know, guardrails up for us? Life is meant to be an experiment. It's not meant to be this serious, heavy thing. This is like a big thing that I'm harping on because I think it blocks us from life. When we feel seriousness, like I said last week, this whole thing is a great mystery. And there's no such thing as failure. Failure would be simply not playing the game anymore. But otherwise, you're just mid-process. So just keep going. Just keep going. And if there is something that you want to happen in your life and it hasn't happened, one of two things. One, it's not time yet. And it's okay. We can't know the divine time of anything. We kind of just got to surrender and continue to follow what's lighting us up. And if it hasn't happened yet, ask yourself, is there an area of my life where I'm not being my true self? Am I the one that's preventing that dream from happening? But don't put too much pressure on yourself, because maybe it is divine timing. But be honest with yourself. Is there a way that you're not showing up in the world? If you're looking for friends that feel like deep, rich friendships and you don't have that, maybe the ones that you do have, it's just not quite right. Or maybe you don't go deep with them like you would like to. How can you show up more in the world as more of yourself? Because maybe you're not being all of yourself. And so the people that you're meant to find can't find you. Maybe there's some things that you want to share on social media, but you're too scared. What if sharing on social media isn't about doing anything other than living out your soul, your soul's expression? What if that's it? What if, in order to find that true sense of fulfillment, those true friends, that true relationship, that true job, that whatever sense of wholeness that you're looking for, is in dropping the seriousness and reconnecting with play? Curiosity is good, but we need that element of play as well, of just observational, of looking around in the world and seeing wonder everywhere. I shared recently that I've been doing this Doctor Proctor meditation. It's called Abundance or something like that. I'll put it in the show notes. And it is so good. When I was like, okay, I'm working on abundance. I'm working on getting more money, financial abundance. It's coming for me. And in the meditation, it doesn't focus on money at all. It focuses on feeling love, on connecting with the sense of love that you feel for your friends and for your family. And I thought that was such a powerful shift. I mean, it starts by having you notice all the blades of grass, notice all the leaves, notice just all the abundance that is around you, the amount of hair on your head, or if you're bald, maybe the amount of hair on your legs. Maybe not bald, maybe just like thinning. But there's abundance of everything. Just the cells in your body, there are so many. It is infinite. It's abundant. And if we can connect with that, then we notice the abundance in everywhere, because money is just energy. I feel like I'm getting off on a tangent, but money is just energy. And I really loved how in this meditation by Dr. Proctor, it's not focusing on money. It's focusing on love. Feeling just like the love pour into your body, feeling the love that you want to give to your friends and the way that you want to give just love to the world around you. And in that sense of love, because I feel like love is aliveness as well, falling in love with life, you just feel more alive. You feel more. And in this sense of aliveness, we become better observers of the world around us. Can you hear the parrots? I hope this is picking it up. We have fun, just quick little aside. In this local area, when I was a kid, can you hear them? Okay, so in this, where I live, the story goes, when I was like in elementary school that some parrots escaped from a Petco or something like that. And over the years, they just, mated and created this whole community of parrots that now just like live in this area. And every morning they let you know they're there. They squawk. It's just great. And I love how vibrant green they are. So in this sense of aliveness, we become a better observer of the world around us. We notice things that maybe previously annoyed us or seemed like a nuisance, but then they become something else. I have some examples of this. So in 1941, a guy named George de Mastral, whatever, he was on a hike. He was going hunting. He had these kind of like wool pants on. And as he's trekking through the nature, some burrs get stuck on his pants. When he gets home and he notices them, rather than be like, oh, this is so obnoxious, whatever, I have to pick all these things off my clothes, he looked at them closer. He noticed how the fibers were intertwining and like really hooked into his wool-ish pants. He went on to invent Velcro. In 1886, a woman named Josephine Cochran, she had some help in her house, I'm going to be honest, and they were chipping china because they were doing all the dishes in the sink, obviously, like everyone did in that day. And she was so frustrated that her dishes were getting chipped. And so what did she do? She invented the first mechanical dishwasher because she was tired of her china getting chipped. And now that revolutionized homes everywhere. So she turned a frustration into a creation. We can reframe everything. In 1905, an 11-year-old named Frank Epperson, he left some soda with a stir stick outside on a freezing night. He went back outside. Oh my gosh, oh no, I left this outside. Guess what? The soda was stuck on the popsicle when he lifted it up out of the cup. He called it an Epsicle because his last name is Epperson. And then later, it became known as the popsicle. So we can reframe mistakes as great inventions. This opportunity is all around us. And when Einstein was just 16, he was famous for these thought experiments. He would just literally think about things. He would put his mind in certain circumstances and imagine different things happening. He imagined what it would be like to chase a beam of light. 16 years old, just using his imagination. What would it be like to chase a beam of light? And this is what led to his special theory of relativity. So if we can tap into this state of play, of observation, drop the seriousness. When we get annoyed with something, no, think about it a little bit more. What is this? Oh, look how these things connect. Or my dishes keep breaking. How can I fix this? We can find solutions. We can revolutionize our life. We can find joy. I mean, you don't have to come up with an invention, but just noticing the things in life. Noticing, finding the joy, finding the wonder. We can do that. Maybe it will help us feel a little bit less stressed. Maybe we'll find more enjoyment, moment to moment. So for this week, let's drop the pressure. Let's drop the pressure and the plans and the hards. I have to do this by this time. And let's put on some good music. Can you hear the chimes? I hope that's nice. Let's put on some good music. Let's move slower. If we're running late, whatever. What are we gonna do about it? When I'm running late to something and I'm driving in my car, I always do this. I say, I can bend time. Time isn't real. I can bend time. And sometimes it works. Sometimes it says I'm going to get somewhere 15 minutes late, and I end up getting there like 2 minutes early. And maybe, traffic just happened to shift perfectly, that things cleared up, or maybe I did bend time. And I'm good with either one, but it's more fun to think that I bend time. Because why not be playful about it? Why not? Why not move through the world with this childlike sense of wonder? Because being an adult, being serious all the time, boring, gross. I want to enjoy it. I want to have fun. I'd also like to remind us that how we view the world does impact the type of life that we live. Our thoughts do shape our reality. This has been proven in countless experiments. So there's the double slit experiment. There was a box, obviously wall, and there was a board in the center that was solid except for 2 slits. And what the scientists did is they shot photons from this side, obviously, to this other wall. When no one was watching, when there was no expectations, the photons, it almost looked like they went straight through this middle wall and they splattered all over the back wall in no pattern whatsoever. However, when there was an observation, when there was expectation, that's what it means, on this experiment, the photons went through just the slits. It created a pattern on the back wall of these 2 lines. So our expectation, one interpretation of this, is that our expectation of reality shapes what we see. It was expected that the photons would go through these slits and create the 2 lines on the back wall. And so when that was expected, that's what happened. Let's do a quick experiment. Tony Robbins does this, so maybe you've heard of it before, but let's do it together right now. So I'd like for you to look around the room and notice everything that is brown. Look around. Great. Okay, now close your eyes and tell me everything in the room that's red. A little hard, isn't it? Because when you were focused on the brown, you saw all the brown, you noticed all the brown, you missed all the red. Maybe you missed things that were yellow as well. And I bet that as you were looking around the room for brown things, you may have seen something that was beige. And you said, oh, that's brown, because you want to succeed. You want to achieve your goal. And so you force things to fit that maybe don't fit. There's so many ways that we can look at this. So 1, notice where you're forcing something to be something that it's not, because that beige isn't brown. So as we move through this week, let's focus on the shade of brown that we want to see. Let's focus on the joy. Let's focus on the play. If we're constantly focusing on, ugh, I have to work, or this sucks, or this or that, then we're just going to experience more of it. So let's recenter in. Let's pretend that we are the projector machine. Everything is just moving through us. Let it move through you. Don't stop it. Otherwise, the film gets like stuck, and that's when you get heavy and it feels the world feels clunky and everything feels clunky and nothing's happening as you want it to happen. Just imagine that life wants to move through you. These are just waves of vibration that are moving through you, and let them be as such. One last thing before we go, because I just did this recently and I really liked it. If you can, just close your eyes with me. And I would love for you to imagine and just repeat to yourself, I am the cosmos. I am the cosmos. I don't know about you, but when I do this, I am the cosmos. I see galaxies inside of my body. Every cell becomes a galaxy, and there are millions of stars inside of them. I am the cosmos. I am the cosmos. And you feel your body expand. Just feel this expansiveness. You are so much bigger than just this human experience. So much bigger. You are the consciousness that is noticing the light. Look at that in my sheet that blocks me from the sun. You know, I could let this piss me off, but fuck it. We're just starting out. I get to figure out how to nail this down. But regardless, we are the cosmos. We are so much bigger than this human experience. We're so much bigger than the frustrations that we face on a day-to-day basis. We are a soul having a human experience, not a human that's having a spiritual experience. So let's remember that. Let's focus in on the shade of brown that we want to notice. Let's acknowledge that we do create our reality to some extent. And let's focus on the good. And when things get hard, we remember, I am the cosmos. I am the cosmos. And you feel this expansiveness. You are the mystery of life. And maybe this will be a little easier. So I hope you have a good day. I'll see you again on Wednesday. And I'll figure out how to tie this down. so it doesn't fly up again. I'll see you next time.